Have you ever tried printing a double-sided document at home only to end up with pages flipped the wrong way or margins that don't quite line up? You're not alone. While modern home laser printers are powerful and efficient, they don't always handle double-sided printing perfectly right out of the box. That's why properly preparing your PDF before hitting print can save you time, paper, and frustration. In this tutorial, I'll walk you through the key steps to format your PDF for smooth, professional-looking double-sided printing. Whether you're working on booklets, reports, or study materials, I'll cover how to adjust margins, ensure the right page order, and avoid common pitfalls like misaligned text or upside-down pages. By the end, you'll have the confidence to print like a pro, right from your own home. So, let's dive right in, shall we? This is before and after. The before is on the lower side. You can see the very narrow margin there, which is the gutter margin. The after is the very wide margin, which is the new gutter margin. Now let's have a look at this in some detail before we get started on designing the document. There's our narrow margin. And what happens when you open this up? You look in the gutter and your text is disappearing into the gutter. Very narrow, difficult to read. And if that's a very thick book, most of that text on the edge is going to disappear into the gutter. You'll have to crack the spine of the book to get it out. Now let's have a look at this, the adjusted one. Nice wide margins for the gutter. Let's open the document up. Turn the page over here when I can get hold of it. There we go. Turn it over. There's a nice wide gutter. Nice wide margins in the gutter. No problems reading that. And the text is still on the page. Margins down the edge, margins down the right, and all's looking good. Now that's easy to do. There are two ways of doing this. We'll start with the first one where we create our document first. So let's start with a new document. There we go. Now in my presets, I've already got one. It's an A4 page and it's set up in inches. Nice and neat. There we go. Now it's 8.268 inches by 11.69 inches. Margins and bleed, 0.75 on the inner, 0.5 on the outer, 0.5 at the top, and 0.7 of an inch at the bottom. Now the bleed, which we really don't need in this case, but I've put it there anyway, I've got it at 0.118 inches all the way around. The general measurements, you can see they're horizontal, start on the right, number of pages 5, let's make that 4, because it's only a 4-page document that I'm going to pull into it. And that will ensure that it starts on the right, where a chapter should start. And in this case, it's a 4-page document and the cover is the front. And that's just what we want, without getting too complex. Click OK. And there we go. There's our document. 1 page, page 2, 3, and page 4. So now let's see what happens when we pull our document into that. We'll place our document, place from files. Now hopefully I can find this nice and easily again. Saves. There's the document we want. There's the document we want there. Let's just open that document. Now it comes up with 1 there, but what we want is to expand that so we can see all of them, and then we want to select multiple. Select all by tapping the middle one. That's that one there. And that's got all 4 pages selected. Now we go over here and pull it out so that it fits neatly in there. And it drops them all in place right within the margins. Let's go back to the top. There's page 1, And you can see that's almost exactly neatly fitting in there, except that that side there is too far in. So we just move it over. We've got that side there. And you can take that out to the margin there. So it just needs a little bit of manual adjustment, and you can probably fit all that in nicely by modifying the borders yourself. And you can see there that it's fitting inside there. Take that over there. The left-hand margin's not too bad. Let's take the next page. That one's out there. That margin on that side's okay. That one there. And there you go. Now, all you have to do really is to adjust those margins to suit the existing margins of the PDF document that you're drawing in. Now, when you print that out, you've got your gutters there on the right and left-hand side, which is just what you want. Now, if you look at that one, you can see the gutters on the inside are a good width before you get to the margin where your document is. On the outside edge over here, you can see where your margin is on the right and the left side there, which is where they should be. A nice neat document, so when it's stapled down the centre line there, or glued, particularly if it's a large document. I'm using this very small document because it's a good example without getting lost in the pages. If you use a really large document and the book is quite thick, you definitely don't want your text disappearing into the margins. A good example. Okay, when you export that, you'll end up with a suitable document. This original document produced by Carl Surrey in Affinity 2 Tutorials, Volume 056, the release date 3rd of the 3rd, 2025.